Hello and welcome. I'm Cheryl. This is Your Journey Yoga. Thank you so much for being here. It means the world to me. And today we are going to go back to the basics. So if you are just starting exercising, stretching, getting back after an injury or a surgery, or you're just getting into some physical activity, proud of you, my friend. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for choosing to do so with me. So the basics, you guys, gentle. Be kind to your body. We just want to feel some good stretches. We want to get some movement in, and we want to make sure that we're getting those big, deep breaths within those movements. All right? Making sure you've got some water handy, that you're in something comfortable, but not too loosey-goosey so they'll get in your way, but just so that you can move freely. All right, so we're going to start in a seated position, and that does not have to be cross-legged. If you choose to do so, you can sit up on a bolster, a pillow, or a blanket. That can oftentimes help release some of that intensity and that really intense sense of stretching in those hips. So just propping the bottom up a little bit. And we're just going to sit up nice and tall. So oftentimes we end up kind of hunching, concaving the chest, rolling those shoulders forward, and the back gets lazy, the chest gets tighter, our posture gets worse. So I want you to really sit up nice and tall and roll those shoulders back. Let's do that. Roll those shoulders, make it big, big as you can. And do that again, big shoulder roll. Beautiful job. Inhale, reach to the sky. And exhale, release that right hand down, left arm up and over, and just reach as far as feels good to you. Let your body just kind of melt, and that right hand supporting you as you go. Inhaling it back up, reach to the sky. Exhale, left hand down, right arm up and over. Just that long, beautiful stretch all the way down that right side. Just melting. Inhale, reach to the sky, both arms come up. Let's do that one more time. First one, it's kind of like, oh, wow. The second one, always feels better. Breathe. Signaling to the body, inhale, reach, that it's time to do some goodness for ourselves and take it up and over. Really important that you always listen to your body, honoring whatever it's telling you. Inhale it, reach to the sky, and as you exhale, rotate to the right. Let's place that left hand to the top of the thigh. Right hand behind you, sit up as tall as you can sit, and turn and take your gaze towards that back wall. So your range of motion is your range of motion, making sure that we keep that length in the spine as we rotate. Making sure that we're breathing slow and steady. Inhale, reach to the sky, turn back to face front. And as you exhale, rotate to the other side. Right hand to the top of the thigh, left hand behind you, sit up tall. And then just look back towards that back wall. And just breathe, noticing what you feel and where you have a tendency to hold tension and tightness. And then we're going to work to let that go. Inhale, reach to the sky, turn back to face front. Exhale and release those hands down by your sides. Let's turn and come up onto all fours. A tabletop. Hands are shoulder width apart. Wrists are right below those shoulders. Core is strong. Knees are hip width apart, and knees just below those hips. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, draw that left ear towards your left hip. Hip towards your ear, shoulder towards your hip. And just creating a C shape. Stretching down that right side through the ribs and the waist. Inhale it back to center. And then exhale other side. Drawing that right shoulder towards your hip, ear towards the shoulder. And just breathe, hold and breathe. Keeping that belly button drawn in and up. And back to center. Now just gently sway side to side, moving at the pace of your breath. Coming back to center. So we're not necessarily looking back towards that hip. We're bringing the ear towards the hip, shoulder towards the hip. Let's do one more each side. Just creating that lateral movement in the spine, helping to work out kinks in that lower back, and just finding the rhythm of the movement, coming back to center. Big deep breath. On your next inhale, allow the belly to come towards the ground. Lift your gaze and your sit bones to the sky. And then as you exhale, hollow your tummy and chest, lift your spine, tuck your chin. This is cat and cow. Inhale it back to cow. I just got a good pop in my back. That always feels good. Making sure it feels good to you if that happens. Exhaling it to cat. Lift that spine, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone. Let's do 2 more each direction, just moving with your breath. One more each direction. And finding that neutral spine once again, let's sit it back to child's pose. Child's pose, such a wonderful place. So depending upon the flexibility in your quads, your knees, your lower back, you might want to put a bolster, a block, a pillow, a blanket, a towel right between your bum and your heels. You can also nestle something right behind those bent knees. So if you tuck it in real tight here and then begin to sit it back, it just allows you to sink in. If that mobility and that flexibility is there, yeah, just sit it back. It's about progress, guys, not perfection ever. Your perfection is finding your perfect pose, your perfect stretch without pain, and with those big, deep breaths. We're going to extend those arms out nice and long, hands shoulder width apart, spread your fingers wide, and we're going to inhale up to a modified plank. So our knees remain on the ground, shoulders are right over those fingertips, and we create a nice long diagonal line down the back of the body as best we can. We lift out of those shoulders. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, press those sit bones back. That towel, that pillow can still be there. Inhale it back up to that modified plank, so we're moving at the pace of our breath. Exhaling and sitting it back. Inhaling it back up. And exhale, sitting it back. One more time. Inhaling it up. And exhale, pressing it back. Hold here. And just breathe. Inhale, lift just slightly, and let's walk our hands out to the left, reaching through your right fingertips and then pressing your hips to the right. Relax the weight of the upper body down. Inhale, lift, and walk those hands back through center. And then over to the right, reaching through your left fingertips, press your hips to the left, and release the weight of the upper body down. Inhale, lift just slightly, walk those hands back through to center, and sit it back to child's pose. Checking in every step along the way. We're going to inhale up to that modified plank, and we're going to lower ourselves down, all the way down onto our tummies. Hands right by your chest, nose towards the mat. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, begin to lift the upper body. Just a little bit, doesn't have to be huge. To Cobra. I want you to gaze out towards the top center of your mat, and then gently release it back down. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, begin to press those hands and those forearms. If you need to adjust where they are, adjust where they are, and coming up just a little bit higher. Feel the engagement in the glutes, that stretch in the spine, gazing forward, rolling those shoulders back. Cobra, just a little bit of variation. Breathe. And gently release it back down. Open those elbows, and you can stack your hands, bringing that right heel in towards your bottom. Add a flex of your foot if you like. And now just soften that foot, reach that right hand around behind. We take a hold of a strap. If you can find your foot, take a hold of your foot. And just gently pull, drawing that heel in down towards your bottom. Great stretch down the front of that right leg. Gently pressing the front of that pelvis on the right side towards the mat. If you notice it might have kind of teepeed up a little bit, press it back down. And gently release, bringing that right hand back underneath the forehead for support, bending that left knee, flex your foot. And soften that foot, reaching back with that left hand. Can you find your foot? Again, you're welcome to use a strap. A dog leash actually works great as well. And we're going to gently pull the heel in towards the bottom. And press the front of that left side of the pelvis back down towards the mat if it's lifted. So we always just check in as we come into a new place, a new pose, making sure that the body's in agreement that this is a good place to be. And gently release. Hands come right back by your chest. Press it back to child's pose. Stretch out that back. And let's go ahead and walk those hands up. Come over onto a hip. Sweep your feet around and slide on down towards the top of your mat. We're going to extend the legs out long. Sit up nice and tall. Bring the hands down by your sides. Breathe. Feel the length through the crown of the head. Pull those toes back towards your shins. This is staff pose. Pretty active pose because we typically don't sit like that. It's more kind of just a relaxed state, hollowed through the tummy and the chest. So as we sit up, do you feel the engagement of the muscles along the back, through the belly? We just feel taller. And that translates into better posture. And soften the feet. We're going to take that right leg and we're going to cross it up and over that left leg and pull the knee in. Just as tightly as feels good to you. Nothing crazy, you guys. And add a flex of that left foot. If it feels good to you, wrap the crook of that left elbow around your knee and pull it in. Turning and taking your gaze out over that right arm. Just using the strength of those arms to pull that knee in, feeling that great stretch in that right hip and the glute and into that lower back. My lower back needs that love today for sure. And gently release that rotation. Allow that right knee to open out to the side, kind of a figure four. And we're just going to let that right hand rest. Still sitting up tall, that staff pose position. And then let's transfer that right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Turning and facing that left leg. Staying here, just adding that rotation and turning. What do you feel through the hip crease? What do you feel through that lower back? How about that hamstring and the calf on that left leg? Feels good to you? Start to walk your hands forward. As much as you like. And let's slowly walk those hands back up. And we switch sides, extending that right leg, crossing that left ankle up and over the right knee, and just sit up nice and tall, resting that left hand on the inside of the knee. A little flex of that right foot, and we're sitting up really tall. Breathe. And then let's bring that left foot to the inside of that right thigh or down towards the calf, wherever it feels good to you. Sit up tall, really get that length in the spine and rotate towards that right leg. Just checking in. What did that do for that hip crease on that left side? How about the hamstring down the back of that right leg? If you feel like you've got room to play, guys, walk your hands forward. As much or as little as you like. And let's slowly walk those hands back up. And let's bring those knees in just to a nice tight little ball, as tight as feels good to you. So if that's not super tight, it's all good. So bring those feet in as tightly as you can. Use the hands against the shins to prop yourself up nice and tall. So as we bring those feet in, nestle them in, knees right in line with those shoulders. Okay, so they're going to want to kind of flare out to the side. Keep them tucked in, and then just gently draw your chin down towards your chest. You can crisscross those arms if you like. Just whatever feels good to you. Feel that stretch all the way down your back. I can feel this starting at the crown of my head, all the way down through the neck and down through my spine. Apparently I need this one pretty bad today. Always feels good to let go of tension and tightness, to move the body. Starting at the tailbone, just slowly begin to extend, stacking each vertebra till we sit up nice and tall. And we're going to let those knees open out to the side, bringing the soles of the feet together to butterfly. Taking a hold anywhere you like along the legs or your feet, and pull those feet in as close as feels good to you, and sit up tall. Draw those shoulders down and away, and let those knees just open out to the side. Can you find a smile? Close your eyes. Just breathe. So just find your perfect butterfly. Close those eyes. Now you might need the support of those hands. If that's the case, test it out. Release your hands. Move your feet out a little bit. So if you need that support of the hands to keep you sitting up nice and tall, push those feet out and away from you a little bit. We're going to bring the hands behind us, and we're going to prop ourselves up nice and tall, not to the point where we're kind of hollowing out and losing our neck. I want you to sit up tall. We're going to inhale, and we're going to lift those knees. We're going to flap our butterfly wings. And then exhale, let those knees gently sink. Inhale, lift. And if you don't need the hands, guys, it's fine. Let them be wherever they want to be. Inhale, lift. And exhale, sink. You can even have the hands on the inside. A little resistance as you lift, and a gentle press as you open for a deeper stretch. One more time. Inhale, lift. And exhale, open. Now we're going to hinge forward. So the soles of the feet are still together. You can pull those feet out and away from you a little bit. I just want you to round over. Let your hands come wherever it's comfortable for them. And let your head be heavy. There was another little pop. Body's just realigning, finding that proper space, getting rid of imbalances. And again, we start at the tailbone, rolling ourselves back up. And we bring those knees together, soles of the feet to the mat. Go ahead and slide on down to the top of the mat if you're not already there. And we're going to take those knees with us, carefully coming down onto our back. Pulling the knees in nice and tight. Hands to the tops of the knees. We're going to make a big circle. Doesn't matter which direction. You might notice that the hips shift side to side a little bit. We're just making a circle, kind of pressing those hands out and away, and then drawing them back in. One more time this direction. And then switch directions. So do you notice that your core is engaged, kind of managing how far you're rocking, making sure that you're staying on your back? It's kind of cool when you get that mind-body connection of all the different parts working together. 2 more times. Last one. Pull it in. Hands to the shins just below those knees. Give yourself a nice giant hug. Draw those shoulder blades down. Nestle each and every vertebra to the mat. Releasing the hands, placing that right foot to the mat, right by your bottom, and then the left. Hands are down by your sides, palms to the mat. Tuck the pelvis so that the small of your back is pressing firmly into the earth. And then we're going to press through our heels as we start to lift those hips, the pelvis, towards the sky, peeling your spine off the mat, one vertebra at a time. Pressing our way up to bridge pose. At the top of bridge pose, we are resting on the back of the head and the back of the shoulders. We can feel the strength of those glutes and the hamstrings. Find your breath. Slow it down. If you squeeze any higher, can you lift any higher? And ever so slowly, one vertebra at a time, coming back down, starting at the top, all the way back down. Keeping those knees from flaring out to the side. And gently release. We're going to do that one more time. So re-engage, tip the pelvis, press the small of the back down, press through those heels and start to lift your hips. This is an amazing, amazing place to realign the spine, to strengthen those hamstrings and those glutes, stimulating your thyroid as the chin is drawn towards your chest, being mindful that those knees don't flare out. You feel a little fire, a little heat burning in those glutes, and those hamstrings. Slowly bring it back down. Till your bottom is the very last to touch. And we cross that right foot up and over the left knee, and we're going to draw the knees in. So you can use a strap, placing the strap or your dog leash, whatever you might have, guys, around the back of that left leg, and you can hold on to it. Or reach that right hand through your little window and interlace your fingers behind that left thigh and gently pull those legs in. So our figure 4 stretch. Beautiful for that lower back and for that hip. Shoulders are nestled down against the earth, head's heavy, just resting. Breath slow and steady. Releasing the hands, left foot comes to the mat, right foot comes to the mat. And let's cross that left ankle above the right knee, pulling the knees in, and again switching that strap, feeding it through the legs, taking a hold of that strap or reaching that left hand through, interlacing your fingers behind that right thigh and gently pull it in. Shoulder blades down against the earth, face soft. Close your eyes if you like. Just feel all the feels. And gently release, placing that right foot to the mat, pulling that left knee in towards the chest, and then the right, a little hug, and gently rock side to side. This is such a good one. Realigning the pelvis, massaging the back, just getting everything back in order. Coming back to center. We're going to keep that right knee tucked in and extend that left leg out and let it relax down to the mat. Right arm extends out to a T, left hand to the outside of the right knee, and gently pull your leg across your body. We work to keep both shoulders down. So that rotation is influenced by keeping those shoulders down, okay? And then turning and taking your gaze out over that right arm. Super good. So today we've gone over quite a few basic stretches. Hopefully they all felt really, really good. And remind yourself that it is in fact about progress, and it is called a practice, right? Your yoga practice. So each day we come back to it, making just a little bit more progress. And it's about celebrating the little baby steps along the way, the ease of the breath, the lessening of the intensity, the way our body feels afterwards. It's such a gift, you guys. Clarity of mind, letting go of stress and tension in a healthy, effective way, rolling it back to center. Extend your right leg to the sky, point your toes, lengthen your leg, little external rotation through that hip. So rotating your pinky toe towards the front, and then slowly lower that leg down, controlled. And allow it to come to rest. Left knee comes in, left arm extends out to a T, right hand to the outside of the left knee, and gently pull that leg across your body. Yes, feels so good. That left shoulder wants to lift, but do your very best to keep it down against the mat, and turn and take your gaze out over that left arm. Big deep breaths. And gently release, coming back to center. Extending left leg to the sky. Point your toes, lengthen your leg, the external rotation through that hip, and slowly lower your leg down. So again, it's just turning that pinky toe towards the front and lowering that leg down. Bringing the hands down by your sides, opening your palms to the sky to receive love and energy. Palms to the ground to help ground you, finding center, rebalancing. So if you're feeling out of sorts, kind of craziness of life, bring those palms down. If you're feeling down, sad, stressed, open those palms to receive that loving energy. Close your eyes and breathe. Make whatever adjustments you need to make for your body to be comfortable. Allow the breath to just flow effortlessly. Let your mind quiet. Acknowledge any thoughts that may be in it, but then just gently let them drift away. Quiet mind, quiet body. A moment to heal, to mend. Time to forgive old past hurts, to move on and make room for love and friendship in that beautiful heart. There's a softness here as we give ourselves over to stillness. Those big deep breaths signaling to the mind and the body that everything is just fine. All is well. And I invite you to take a moment and within your mind's eye, that beautiful, clear mind, I want you to think of a word that represents happiness to you. If you're having a hard time coming up with a word, maybe a picture, an image of your mind, a single word reflected in your mind that represents happiness and feeling light. I want you to stay connected with whatever that image is, whether it's a word or a picture. And let your breath just gently flow. And now ever so gently, that image, gently watch as it shifts out of focus. And once again, a clear mind, but that's still that sense of joy and happiness. We begin to wiggle our fingers and our toes, slowly transitioning and extending those arms overhead, reaching and lengthening. Oh, that feels good. And drawing one knee in towards your chest as your arms sweep around, drawing the other knee in towards your chest as your hands take a hold of those knees. Let's gently roll to one side, using the strength of the arms when you're ready to come up to a seated position. Find a comfortable place. Sit up nice and tall, rest your hands. If it feels okay to you, Open your palms to the sky, drape your wrists over the knees, and perhaps bring your index finger to touch your thumb. A gentle smile on your face, a softness in your eyes. And let's gently open those eyes. Take a big breath in, reach to the sky. Exhale, pull the hands to heart center. And I just want to say thank you for joining me today, you guys. I hope that felt great. If you're coming back to the basics after being away for a while, welcome back. If you are just coming into stretching and yoga, you guys, welcome. This is an amazing place. I always like to tell everybody, give yourself 5 times to do yoga. And just really see. That gives you an opportunity to really feel what yoga and stretching and movement and breathing and being mindful can do for your body and for your life. It's pretty powerful, and I hope you'll come back with me and join me time and time again. Be well, my friends. Take care. And until the next time, light and love and namaste.